The Christian Bible is a book with two main parts, each with its own unique significance and history. We call these the Old Testament and the New Testament. The Old Testament is also known as the Hebrew Bible. The Old Testament comes first. It is a collection of religious writings by ancient Israelites. It tells the history of the Jewish people and their God, including stories of creation, the Exodus from Egypt, and the lives of prophets. The New Testament comes second. It focuses on the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. It tells the story of Jesus and the beginning of Christianity, including his birth, ministry, crucifixion, and resurrection. Both parts of the Bible are important to Christians. They provide a foundation for faith and practice. They offer guidance and teach about God, morality, and the human condition. The stories and teachings in the Bible have shaped many cultures and beliefs throughout history. Even today, people read the Bible to learn and find meaning. It continues to inspire and influence millions around the world. Whether for personal reflection, academic study, or communal worship, the Bible remains a central text in many lives. Its translations and interpretations have evolved, making it accessible to people of various languages and backgrounds. Families often read the Bible together, passing down its teachings from generation to generation. Many find comfort, wisdom, and inspiration in its pages, using it as a guide for daily living and spiritual growth. The Old Testament was written long ago, in a time when stories were passed down through generations by word of mouth, before being committed to parchment. Many different people helped to write it, each contributing their unique perspectives and experiences to the sacred texts. Moses is a very important person in the Old Testament, revered as a prophet, leader, and lawgiver. He is said to have written the first 5 books, known as the Torah, which include the 10 Commandments, a cornerstone of moral and ethical conduct. Prophets also wrote parts of the Old Testament, offering guidance, warnings, and hope to the people of their time. Prophets were people who spoke for God, believed to be divinely inspired to deliver his messages. They shared God's messages with the people, often calling for repentance and a return to righteous living. The Old Testament has stories, poems, and rules for living, reflecting the diverse ways in which people understood and related to the divine. It is a complex book with many different authors and styles of writing, each adding layers of meaning and depth to its rich tapestry of faith and history. The New Testament begins with 4 Gospels. The Gospels tell about the life and teachings of Jesus. Each Gospel has a different writer. We call them Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Matthew, Mark, and Luke are called the Synoptic Gospels. They are very similar to each other. John's Gospel is different. It focuses more on Jesus' divinity. The Gospels are important because they tell us who Jesus was and what he taught. Section 4, Letters from Paul and Others. The New Testament also has letters. These letters were written to early Christian communities. Paul wrote many of these letters. He was a leader who spread the Christian message. Other people, like Peter and James, also wrote letters. These letters gave advice and encouragement to new Christians. They helped people understand how to live as followers of Jesus. These letters are still important today because they offer timeless wisdom. Section 5, Communities of Faith and Their Writings. The books of the Bible were not written all at once. They were written over hundreds of years. Different communities of faith kept these writings safe. They copied them and shared them with others. These communities believed that the writings were inspired by God. That's why they kept them safe and shared them with others. Over time, these writings became the Bible as we know it today. Section 6, the Bible, a book with a long history. It is one of the most influential books ever written, with a reach that spans across continents and cultures. The Bible has a long and complex history. It has been translated into thousands of languages, making it accessible to people from all walks of life. Many different people contributed to its creation, from ancient scribes meticulously copying texts by hand, to modern scholars who continue to study and interpret its meanings. It is a collection of texts that hold deep meaning for millions of people around the world. Each version and translation offers a unique perspective, enriching the understanding of its teachings. Even if you are not religious, the Bible is an important book to know about. Its influence extends beyond religious boundaries, touching various aspects of human life and thought. It has shaped history, art, literature, and culture for centuries. Many of the world's greatest works of art and literature have been inspired by its stories and themes. Its stories and teachings continue to inspire and challenge people today, whether through academic study, personal reflection, or public debate. The Bible remains a vital part of our global heritage.